Hi, Arina. Hi, Jwala.
Hello.
So today we are going to start our chapter. Chapters we are going to start today. The one would be yoga professional guidelines. Okay. And the second would be business of yoga. Both are interrelated to each other. Like yesterday topic we have covered, they were interrelated to each other. So this is also interrelated to each other. So it's better we'll finish this chapter together and today itself. Okay. So what does yoga professionalism guidelines? I'll just give you an overview of this. Basically, yoga professional guideline means if you are making yourself as a professional, if you have decided to run a business or anything, that point of time, what are the guidelines you need to follow, or what are the guidelines you need to set for your business? What are the things, major key points you need to take care into your mind? Okay, so these will be the major points here in book in module it is given. So let's go for this each and every topic first. See, basically the three things is very important when you are going to open any business, or you are just making yourself as a professional, you're standing yourself as a on a professional platform. Three major things you need to keep in your mind. First is skill teacher. To be a skill teacher, if you are not a skill teacher, what does it mean? Everyone can have a skill of becoming a teacher. Why? Because the way we are learning from each other, or maybe we are learning from our teachers, we adapt such qualities. Not 100% but 50% we try to adapt such qualities. Okay, so now if we are trying to just become a professional with our own standards, that point of time we keep in our mind that what are the, yes. So basically skill what I was explaining is, what does the skill teacher means? A skill teacher means if you are becoming, you're just trying yourself to be a skill teacher, that point of time you should keep some points into your mind. Like, for example, you should have a honesty in yourself, transparency in yourself. You should have a clear intention while speaking in front of everyone, or while just planning something, you have a clear intention about it. Okay, also the major point what you need being a professional teacher you should have is your integrity. The same point I just explained you, truthfulness. Okay, if your intention is not clear, if you in yourself you are not like you don't know how to maintain the honesty and truthfulness in front of your students and clients, how will you teach them? They will recognize it that my teacher or my guru is not so much confident, or the messages what he or she is telling me, it's not motivational messages I'm getting, or there is no such chain I can see in myself. So what is the use of it? So becoming a skill teacher, that means the result which you are giving to your students or client, that should be a kind of it should be noticeable to others as well. Okay, here it is given skill as a teacher. That means skilled as a teacher means there are many major key points you need to keep in your mind to become a skilled teacher. The second one is explanatory. What is that? What does it mean? Able to serve as a role model and example for others. That means the same thing I just inform you. If you're setting up your personality, okay, so that everyone should notice you by handling such behaviors, by handling such qualities in yourself, like you are honest, like you have a clear intentions, you are smart, you are skilled teacher. That point of time, if for example if I'm teaching you and I'm teaching you in very good manner or something, that point of time if I'm teaching you, I'm giving a good result where you can feel the changes in yourself or in your body, or maybe in your like practical and professional things. That point of time you will never forget me. It's just an example, you can if you want, but if you'll try, you will not forget your teacher if he is giving a good impact, he is giving a setting up a good image in front of you, right? So always try to become a good teacher, always set a good example in front of your students and clients, so that whenever they are just leaving your class, or maybe when they are done with the course and everything, they should never forget you, or maybe your qualities which you are having. That point time they'll keep discussing it. Okay, the third one is successful, that is fulfilling personal career goals. So that what does it mean? Becoming whatever career goals the clients are coming by, they have taken it into their mind and they are just visited to your studio, or the students they are coming, you should always try your best to fulfill their goals. Whatever they are coming from, if someone is coming for the physical changes, they want to see the physical changes in themselves. Some of them who's just they are skilled but they want a certification, Some of them, they need like from tip to toe, they need each and every change they are just asking for. So you have to, being a teacher, you have to try your best to fulfill each and every requirement and every goals of your students and clients. Okay, so three major things to become a professional, or to guidelines you need to set in front of your clients and students would be, first would be skill teacher. To become a skill teacher, explanatory, that means you should always set a good example in front of your students and clients. And the third word would be successful. You should always make yourself successful at any point of time or at any stage. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to invest a lot of money to become a successful yoga teacher. It's just that if you have a good skill into yourself, if you have a good potential into yourself, from anywhere, even though you can start online as well, you can start offline as well, wherever you want to, and when like at whatever stage you want to, you can do that. Okay, just you need to have a basic qualities to become a yoga teacher. Okay, now I have explained you here, the topic would be the skilled yoga teacher. What does it mean that I have a skilled teacher? What you need to have become a, what things are required to become a skilled teacher? Now the second is not so skilled teacher. What does it mean? Here it is given, what not so skilled teacher means: the teacher who doesn't have honesty in themselves, doesn't have clear intention in themselves. They always, at a certain point of time, they are just keep comparing their students and their clients, right? Also, they are just thinking something which is not required for their business or for their class, right? Here it is given, to get crystal clear about the what makes a skilled teacher, it can be helpful to look a few counter examples. Okay, so here the counter example is given. One flaw is expecting a student to be someone they are not, or inflating a student's expectation beyond safe levels. Or a teacher might have insightful things to say but deliver them in a boring monotone. That means, for example, if I want to explain one definition to you guys, right? But I'm just explaining it the way which is like you can't get it, right? The language I'm using, or maybe the mode I'm using to explain you guys, you can't get you my messages, or whatever I'm trying to explain it, you can't get that. So what is the new use of that if I'm just thinking about myself? Okay, fine, I just need to deliver it the way I'm delivering it is perfect. Never think like that. Okay, always make yourself so much flexible according to your students and clients. The way you are explaining anything to them, it should be like understandable to them as well. Okay, the explanatory yoga teacher, that means to become a yoga teacher, for example, if you are after your certification, you just started your business, or maybe you started working anywhere, that point of time, always you will think about your classes, the teachers, the practical classes you were getting from your teachers, the theory classes you were getting from your teachers. In center of your mind, you will think that, okay, now I have to teach someone practical classes. Now let me think, or you will just go into your classes, that teacher, how she or he was teaching to you, whenever you were getting wrong at some point of time, how they were correcting you, how they were making you understand that, right? So these are the things you will, that what does it mean? That those teachers have set the examples into your mind. That is the reason you are thinking it. That is the reason you are recalling it. That is the thing you are just, you want to implement into yourself. So always try to become a such teacher that should be an example for you and for your clients and students as well. Okay, they want to adapt things from you, they want to implement good qualities from you. So that is the only meaning of this explanatory yoga teacher. There should be example given in each and every paragraph. I don't think so that we need to read it. That would be, you can relate to yourself as well. Okay, now modern ethics beyond yamas and niyama, that is the only meaning that when the yoga was introduced, there was so much traditional things and everything was there introduced. And today, in fact, today also in our module, also if we talk about our practical things, we learn so much modern ethics. From modern ethics, that is our generation is doing it, right? But if we talk about our past, that time, the yamas, niyamas, pranayam, meditation, everything was that people were focusing majorly on that, right? That point of time, on that era, people were, yoga was something else. Now they have just converted some of the things which is not wrong into modern ethics. What does it mean? Beyond yama niyamas, they're just trying to add such some modification in yoga, some modification of are there in your like yoga journey or yoga we talk about practical things like, for example, that point of time, people were learning more about meditation, pranayam, yamas, ethics, and everything. But now, when you are becoming a teacher, when you are reading it, that point of time, you are learning about your respiratory system, your this muscular system. You are just not only about, you are focusing on yamas, niyamas, pranayam, meditation. That is equally and very important to learn and to understand. But that too, if we talk about modern ethics, they have just introduced some major more normal topics, which is also very required to become a yoga teacher. Here in last paragraph, you can see in your book, it is given, don't get me wrong, the yama and niyamas are essential, and I would not want to live in the world without them. Yet it's important to recognize that they are originated as a part of ethical paradigm meant to encourage seekers to move away from the world of social contracts. What this paragraph just wants to explain? That means, don't, it doesn't mean that if we are introducing modern ethics into the yoga, it doesn't mean that we are ignoring yamas and niyamas tradition. It's not. Both are equally important, and we are not making them. We are not making ourselves apart from this yoga traditions as well. The thing is, as become a yoga teacher, we need to adapt both the things, the modern ethics as well, the traditional ethics as well. And if we are just making ourselves so much like we are just keeping all the informations and all the things into our mind to become a yoga teacher, trust me, you will be having a more capacity to think up into your mind that what next and what is more we can learn about yoga. But if you limit yourself just till the tradition ethics, or maybe till only modern ethics, you are just keeping yourself apart from traditional. Because why? Because that is something very different to understand and very little typical to understand, because that point of time we understand our generation's things, right? But we should not always focus on only modern or tradition. Both are equally important. Okay, they just introduce, they have, why they just written the topic here, beyond yama and yamas, so that is equally important, and you will find these topics everywhere. But modern ethics, they just want to introduce that as well. Okay, now the not so explanatory teacher, again the same topic is, a not so explanatory teacher may be talented and have so much to offer as a role model, but may hold himself back and get in his own way, meaning that instead of trusting himself, he is mired in self-doubt or negative self-talk. That means, maybe if I am a teacher, I have all the qualities, I have all the skills to show, but that point of time, I'm not making myself so much, I'm not using my skills to motivate some my students or clients. I'm not making using my skills to implement them into them, or to make them a skilled client or skilled students. So that is not good. I'm just into myself. Okay, I'm just thinking about my things, or whatever I'm thinking to my on behalf of my students or clients, that is always negative, that is always kind of comparison thing I'm doing it. So that is the thing, if you will implement such behaviors, or you will show such behavior in front of your students or clients, they will not give any example, they'll just try to forget you as soon as possible. Okay, they'll just complete the course, maybe if they have invested so much money into you, or if they haven't, they'll leave you. But no one want to invest their time and energy with the negative person. So never become a negative teacher, or never have a negative thoughts, because that point of time you can't set any example in front of anyone. Okay, so Arina, just I'm explaining you one more time.
Yes.
Not so explanatory teacher
Sorry.
means
I had
there's
someone at the door.
not an issue. It's just that not so explanatory teacher means that whatever talent which you have, whatever skill which you have into yourself, if you're not utilizing it in a positive way, you will never set any good example in front of your clients or students. Okay, so if never set a negative image, do not. And why you are setting your negative image? If you're always 24 into 7, if you are just doing the comparison of your clients and students, or you have a negative thought at any point of time, and you are just expressing that in front of your clients and students, so that will, the people will, that point of time, maybe they will leave your class, or if they have invested so much money into yourself, they'll just finish it and they'll go. They will never just give an example of yours to in front of anyone. Okay, the successful yoga teacher, how you can, that is the basic question, and you know that because all the previous chapter we have covered so far was all about, majorly was all about how you can become a successful yoga teacher. For that, there are many more points you need to keep in your mind. You should have a good skill into yourself. The three major points which from which we have started this chapter: skill, successful, and explanatory. These are the major three things. You should set a good example in front of everyone. Also, you should have a good skill into yourself so that you can teach anyone and you can implement those skills to others as well. And the third, you should how be in the such way, if you are carrying these both qualities into yourself, ultimately you can become a successful teacher. Because everyone, it's not about yoga only. If we talk about our daily life also, everyone wants to sit in front of those people who are they have a positive approach, right? They do not talk rude, they do not hurt anyone. So in your daily life only, if you're implementing such natures, ultimately if you're becoming a yoga teacher, you will not change your nature, you will go with the same flow, right? There will be a major 2-3 points you will adapt to become a professional. Like for example, if you how you have to communicate with others, you will increase your patience level, because that point of time you have to deal with a number of different kind of personalities. Okay, now deep aspects of successful teacher. What are the deep aspects? Just Jwala, read this paragraph quickly.
Deep aspects of success arise from conscious thought about what kind of success we want. One teacher's definition of success may be quite different from that of other teachers or of the yoga world at large. A teacher who is successful on his her own terms takes into account how much money he she wishes to and needs to make, and how many students and what types of student he she wants to work with. He knows his core values and why he has made these choices. His thinking about these questions helped his formulate a clear mission statement. In addition to knowing what kind of success you want to be successful, you'll also have to take actions and develop habits to make your vision into a reality. Overall, success requires goals, vision, and discipline.
Exactly. So what does it mean? The major 3 points to have a deep aspects of becoming a yoga teacher should be goals, vision, and discipline. If you have set your goal that okay, fine, today and my goal is to just make my studio a different, while because of my nature or because of my behavior or because I have to keep the staffs, that should be also skilled staffs. It's not like I even the like the people gatekeeper, for example, I'm keeping in my studio, he should be very humble and patient person, right? Vision should be very clear that what are the goals you have set for your studio. It's nothing like you are just going beyond your goals and you are doing efforts which is not required to make your business successful. You are wasting time over there. And discipline is very important. Punctuality is very important. If becoming a yoga teacher, if you don't have a discipline, and what does the discipline include? Discipline includes many more things. It's not about that you should visit studio on time, you should leave studio on time, or maybe you have to complete the chapters or come after doing the revision, or do not just misbehave in your class. Many more things also are included. If we talk our internal part of our body, that what approach you are just keeping in your mind to just in front of your teacher. For example, if you are giving respect in front of your teacher, but in deep into mind you're not respecting him, you are just, because why? You can have a different kind of mindset thought. So just try to clear that thought. Always try to think positive in front of anyone. It's not only the responsibility of teacher, to students as well, because someday somehow the student will become also a teacher, you guys will become a teacher, right? So what approach you need to use to become a good teacher? First of all, that point of time becoming a student, you have to start implementing those things from right now only. That is the reason, because see the experience. I'm teacher, someday I was a student, today also I'm a student, because that it's I never stop learning from those. So if I'm not never I'm just stopping learning, or I'm just exploring myself to learn new things, ultimately I'm a student. But if you are becoming a teacher, that point of time, always implement or always try to feel that things from to become as a at a place of student, you will feel such experiences. Then only when one day when you will become teacher, you will realize, okay, these were the things I was also thinking. Maybe my students will also think the same things. Okay, maybe he will have a same approach, maybe he will have or she will have a same mindset. Okay, so it will easy for you to understand or to read the mind of your students and clients. Okay, do not leave. See, each and every minute, each and every second, always try to think something out of the box. Even though if we are right now in current scenario, if you are just trying to understand whatever topic I'm teaching you, or maybe if you want, if you are physically here present, mentally if you're not there, think maybe there are chances when I'll become a teacher, my student will be there, they'll be physically present but mentally they are not. How will I How will I recognize that situation? How I'll read the mind, how I'll read the facial expression. Okay, because I can read that. I can read that. If, for example, Arena Jol or anyone is there and they are physically present, mentally they are not, I'll know that. It's not that becoming a teacher only I have learned those things. I was implementing such things when I got so many time at point of time when I got pointed for the same scenarios. These are the possibilities can be happen where I'll just lose my interest into the class. So now again, why how I can bring my awareness back. Okay, so there are many more deep aspects you need to think into your mind to become a yoga teacher, and that too you can start from where you are student as well. Now here, the next is superficial qualities of a successful teacher. There are certain other qualities that maybe contribute to success that we shall superficial, because we don't have to dig deep to attend them. We were born with them or came by them early and in same life. Some of these qualities include certain some things about the instructor's personality seem to create atmosphere classroom that makes students want to come back. The same thing that no one is God here, right? If I can becoming a teacher, it's very normal and it's very acceptable that I can do mistakes as well, right? I can forget things. Maybe I can explain something wrong as well. But that point of time, that should be, we should always try to become a skilled teacher, which includes that you should avoid such mistakes. You should becoming a, if you are a teacher, you should avoid such kind of mistakes. Never before always delivering such things. Before delivering anything into your class, always keep studying, always learn those things, always go through the book and then only deliver it. So it's normal that superficial qualities, never think like, okay fine, she's a teacher, she's a god, she can't do it mistake. Maybe I can think you are experienced student, she is a beginner. So beginners is responsibilities to my responsibility is to explain each and everything to beginner, not to experience. That aspect is also very wrong to become a yoga teacher. My responsibility, my nature and everything should be equal and should be equal with each and every of my students or clients. Okay, appearance and personal hygiene, that should be also clear. If your body language is very very important, even though if you're online, you're presenting yourself online or offline, your body language, it's very important. How the way you are sitting, the way you are talking, right, the way you are using your body parts, that is very important, right? So these are the things students and clients, they notice. Okay, and also they can judge. But see, I just told you, you will find a number of different kind of personalities where some of them, they will judge you from your tip to toe, the way you are speaking, the way you are using your body language. Some of them, they'll just focus on the book and the things which is required for them. So you have to deal with both the personalities, because you are a business woman or maybe you are a yoga teacher, you can't ignore anyone, and equally you have to treat them, right? So, and the hygiene in your class should be very, because if someone is coming into your class and there is a bad smell there, or maybe they are, because outside it is hot, inside again it is very cold, so that is not good for their health. Okay, so these are the major key points you need to keep in your mind. In previous chapter also I was just explain you that keeping hygiene means you need to see the temperature of your class. That should be very like smell of your class, your environment which you are setting up into your studio, because they have to spend, if though they have to spend 10 minutes also into your class, that should be peaceful to them. Okay, it should not be irritating, it should not be like they are irritated when they are going out of the studio, they're so irritated that they don't want to come there again, right? So each and every point to become a yoga teacher, it's not only the responsibility of teacher to teach anything. The responsibility is to set the environment, set the era, to make your students comfortable, to have a good relation, build a good healthy and wealthy relationship with your students. Okay, connection, that same thing I just explained you. Any teacher who have good professional connection to begin with, all naturally have a career advantage. That is the first thing, is timeliness. What is that? Be timely, it's kind, empowering, professional. The same thing that you should have a first thing. If you are punctual, then only you can make your staffs punctual, you can make your students and client punctual. For example, we have scheduled our class, it is for 9 o'clock, and then teacher is only coming 9:15, 9:20. That is not good. What is the image I'm setting in front of my students and clients, right? So the same way, if you are becoming a yoga teacher, just give your best to become a, always try to have your punctuality in yourself, always try. The same thing, if you'll do the same thing, if you are here, students are not there, one day, 2 day, the third day, then only you can tell them, no, you have to come on time, you have to do these things, you have to do revision. And then whatever policies or criteria or guidelines which we are offering to you, to your clients and students, we have a strict policy, we have a strict guidelines, you can't break that rules. Why? When you can tell them, when you are following it, your staffs are following it, your people are following it. Okay, so for that thing, to become a yoga teacher, it's always try not only to become a yoga teacher, you have to keep punctuality and you should be responsible for becoming a good human being also in your daily life also. If you'll try it from everything, see, whatever I taught you to become a yoga teacher, you should start implementing it in your daily life. If you'll do that, trust me, it is not difficult to become a yoga teacher, because you have started your training from first day only, right? So it's nothing. You see, always try, because if you want to teach something, first learn and then teach, and try to. It's not necessary that you need a good platform or huge platform to teach anything. You can teach to your sister, your brother, your mother, your father, your friend, anyone. Just try, at least practice it. The way you will teach them, you will realize your mistakes, you will have experience about it, right? And the day will come when you will deliver it at the professional stage, you will know that where you are going wrong, where you are going right. Okay, so never think that, okay, once I'll get the certification, once I'll get the opportunity, then only I'll start to explore myself. Okay, now there are some points I'll just explain you here. It is given quickly. Show that you are a true professional, that you need to show, and how you can show. If you have such things in your mind and your personality, increase your credibility. That how you need to increase it, there are many points that you already know. Reveal that you respect other people's time always, because if I'm a teacher, I'm here, for example, with any reason, Arena and Jwala, they are just joining me late, 5 minutes time, it doesn't mean that I'll go back, or maybe I'll use rude languages, or maybe I'll just, once we are there, I'll start shouting. No, always respect their space and their time as well, until unless there is, see, if you are a professional, if you are a highly professional teacher, you know that how you have to, though your students are not punctual or something, you should have that skill in yourself, you should carry that skill, that how you need to explain them to be a punctual. You don't have to shout in front of them, or you don't have to use such rude words to explain them. Okay, ensure that you are not stressed always, though you have any personal problems you are dealing with, to have a big, if any yoga teacher is there or any teacher is there, if they are dealing with their personal problem, never merge these things. Okay, your personal life and your professional life, keep it different. Now enhance you are the team's productivity. Always motivate your team. See, if you'll motivate your team, they'll show the interest, they'll do. If they are practicing it, their theory or exercise or something, and if they are doing it, that is the point, that is the time you can realize that productive things is happening. But if they are sitting ideal, you are just explaining something, no result is coming out, they are not getting it as well, so there is no productivity at all. So always focus on productivity as well. Whatever you are explaining to your student, that should be like there should be, that should be crystal and clear to them as well. Okay, not only you. Make your synonyms with integrity can help you get ahead. So always, overall, always you need to motivate your students. Though if some topic is there, you can't explain them, or you're just trying to explain them, they can't get it, you can use different type of gestures to explain them. And see, everyone wants what they want is, there are very rare chances that people, they'll not get in second or third time. People try to, if something I'm explaining, you will not get it one time, second time I'll use different kind of gesture or different mode to explain you, and you'll get it. So never stop yourself of, okay, one time I've just explained it, Jwala is saying, Nimisha, I didn't get it, please explain me again. Again, I'm using the same language and same gesture. It doesn't mean she'll understand it. She said, so I have, becoming a yoga teacher, if I'm a teacher, I have to use different techniques, right, to explain my students. Okay, so these are the things you need to keep in your mind. Financial security, always have a financial security with, see, it's nothing like you are into your loss and you're just inviting your students, you don't have money you to serve anyone, or but you're giving free classes. Do it when you are financially secure. Okay, if you are not financially, you need money to make your business growth, to make your business successful, but you are just focusing on the free stuffs which is not required right now. So to avoid such thing till the time you will not make yourself secure. Financial security will not be handling it. First, here it is given, you probably met a teacher who manages his her money well, or has money in the bank already. Sometimes people like this they succeed as a teacher simply because they are not nervous or uptight about about finances and have greater access to training, clothing, resources that enhance their career. So at the same point, if you don't have a money, don't force yourself towards that thing. But if you have a money, don't do show off as well. For example, I'm super rich. It is not necessary I have to show it in my class. That is my personal things. I don't have to bring it, because the clients and the students I'm dealing with, it's not like they are also so much rich, or they have a such strong background or something. If you have such thing, if any teacher has they're financially secure, or like insecure, whatever they have, they don't have to bring that thing to their class. Okay, these are the things you need to keep it in your mind. Innate physical prowess, that is Instagram features endless pictures of naturally bending yogis. They often former gymnasts, aerobics athletes, and mathematics who have the build huge social media following because of their physical capability. Whether they were born exceptionally flexible and strong or worked hard to get that way, having a bendy advanced asanas practice can be source of inspiration students and increase one's chances of success. What does it mean? Never do one thing. See, if we talk about daily life, Instagram is there, right? So becoming a yoga teacher or becoming a yogi, if no, though I'm not a yoga teacher, I just know yoga poses. I'm just posting my poses on Instagram. I'm just my what is my aim, my goal to motivate them. Right? It's not like I have to. I'm just posting my pictures so that I can get a comparison between some other or other student or in between me. So always make your vision clear that if you're posting, if you're promoting yourself on social media platform, it should be in the motivational, it should be a motivational content over there, right? Never do such things like, for example, if see people nowadays social media, it's toxic as well, somehow it is toxic, right? So the how you are using that platform, that is very necessary, right? And if you are a teacher, if your intentions are to motivate your students or to promote your class or something, the vision should be clear. It's not like the things which is not required to promote, or things which is like it's kind of offensive to others. Don't support such things. Okay, because if you are a social media influencer, or maybe you are a teacher, people will follow you, and what you are following, that is very important to see. Okay, so these things you need to keep in your mind. Fashion sense, a distinct and clear personal style of fashion sense can be advantage and enhancing the teacher most attractive features, making her stand out of the crowd. So you should keep your personality in a different way. Okay, it doesn't mean that what you are wearing, it is not all about what you are wearing. It is important. You becoming a yoga teacher, you can't wear such thing which is not required, because you ultimately you have to go, you have to teach yoga poses. So what you are wearing, that is very important. What you are carrying, that is very important, and that to your students and client will see, and they'll follow the same. Right, you will tell them that these clothes are not comfortable, do not wear in this class. These clothes are comfortable, wear such things into class. Like we talk about mats, which mats are very comfortable to do practice. So such things, if we talk about fashion sense, is also to keep in your mind what kind of fashion sense you are following. Your students will see that, they will follow, your clients will follow. Such things you need to keep in your mind. Okay, marketing, the same thing I just inform you, the way you are marketing yourself, that is very important, right? The content which you are using, the words which you are using, the way which you are using, it should be motivational. People should see it, people should show their interest. It's not like you are marketing, you are doing the marketing of yourself, and the words and the things which you are using to marketize your studio, it's very offensive to others. You are doing only comparison, that this studio is offering this much, I'm offering in this much. Right, never use such contents. Just focus on your marketing, your skills, way what you are selling to others. Focus on, think out of the box, which is not, it should be not be comparable to other studios or others, like other team. So always focus on your marketing, and it should be not offensive to others as well. Okay, compelling background, some yoga teachers have survivor stories, meaning that they survive something tragic or difficult in the life that people relate to. Students will often seek help with the similar challenges in their own lives by studying with such teacher. I don't wish any kind of survivor story on anyone, but for teachers who are willing to share their wisdom gain for such an experience, it can help draw students. So same thing, whatever past I have or I am carrying with me, I should never share it with my students to motivate anything. Okay, if something is there which is out of the box and which is required to tell, which is necessary to tell to your students or client, which will make them motivated, that thing you need to tell them. It's not like will take my past in the class and I'll just narrate the story of my past, which was no of you, that it was not of use Okay, so that things you should avoid. Whatever you met with an accident, after that your leg got broke, and now you are doing this asana. Okay, fine. Many n number of people are there in this world who are suffering from. They have a different kind of experience. They have suffered a lot. So it is not necessary to narrate your story, your past into the class until unless something motivation is there. You need to give to your students. Okay. Yoga pedigree, the same thing is it is given the legendary teacher like BK Sanger. You must have heard about BK Sanger, Patabi Joyce, or their disciplines, because a connection to very people learn from them. People learn from Guru. If we talk about BK Sanger or Patabi Joyce, although if we talk about our teacher, our Guru, Yogi Anand sir, we learn a lot from them. Why? Because the things which they are teaching to us, the way they are teaching to us, the experience which they are having, it's totally different from others, right? So always try to learn from their foundations are very strong. To make our foundation strong, we should learn from them. We should learn from those experiences. Okay. Identifying areas of potential involvement, that is the same thing. Arena, could you read this paragraph quickly? Not example, this paragraph.
The paragraph. Yeah. In reviewing these definitions of skilled, exemplary, and successful teacher, you've probably recognized aspects of yourselves and areas where you excel. I hope you also contemplate changes and improvements you'd like to make in your practice, teaching, and career, and the goals you want to pursue. The easiest way to start improving is to highlight some of the qualities listed above that you could enhance, and then take action to fill in the gaps. For example, No,
example.
we can discuss the example. Okay.
Yeah, this paragraph,
Yes.
you got it, what they're trying to say. Please explain
Yes.
quickly.
So maybe from these explanations, the different types of teachers that you can be, maybe there are some things that you can relate to, but there maybe are other areas where you can improve and learn and do more of that. And I think I just want to say, I think it applies to lots of other jobs. Being a teacher is obviously a very important job, but I find some of these aspects in other jobs when you also have to interact with people, that you have to lead by example and have all these aspects that we've discussed today.
Yeah, so basically your experience is what you are having. Okay, what others are having, the way you are learning from them, the way you are teaching them, that is very important. So identifying the areas of potential involvement, whatever platform you are getting to learn it from there. Okay, everyone can teach you everything or anything. So always open your mind, always open your soul to learn from anyone, even he is elder than you or younger than you. Okay, do not restrict your mind. Because why? Because we have such certification, I don't want to learn such things from others, I know everything. No, don't keep such attitudes. If you want to become a teacher, don't keep such attitudes. Okay, now discovering your core values. How you will describe your core values? Whatever values, see, if you are a teacher, whatever core values you have, how you will describe it? What are the core values? The skill which you are having, the intentions which you are having, the culture which you are having, the environment which you are setting up for your studio, the values which you are having, right? The nature which you are having, the mode through which you are coming. So these are the some values, core things which you should have to become a yoga teacher. You should implement into yourself, and then only when you will behave in front of others, when you will speak, when you will communicate with others, that values, that is the core values, people will see, people will notice. Okay, that is the same thing here. It is given that discovering your core values, how you can discover it. The way, if you don't have, for example, if you need, I'll see Jwala, she has a good nature, she everything. Okay, we are similar, but the things, patience level with Jwala have, I don't have it. I should learn from her, right? So if I'm a student and you guys are teacher, I should see, I'll notice yourself, what I can learn from yourself, how I am making my students, how you guys are making me comfortable, what are the ways you are making me comfortable, what are the words you are using, right? What are the gesture you are giving? So these are the things you can discover. You can discover, if you don't have such values or core things into yourself, how to develop that core, how to implement into yourself. You have to discover it in the various ways. Okay, maybe you will meet with different kind of people, you will teach to different kind of students, you'll meet with different kind of clients. These are the experiences through which people learn. Okay, or teachers learn or students learn. Okay, in addition, connecting to your core values will help you What is that? More passionate about your teaching. You should always show your passion. If you're doing any profession, you're not only about your teaching. If you're going for any profession, be passionate about it. Okay. More be authentic. Build your student base, find colleagues and partners who share your values. Be clear about your future path, make strategic decision for your career. Stay focused on what matters most in your life and career. That means you have to just focus on your goals. You should have a clear vision, clear state of mind, and clear discipline. Okay. Common core values, what is that? The common core values are the same. You should have a responsible, you should have a good leadership, respect, community, integrity, generous, space, creativity, grace, dignity, educating others, having fun, having an impact, uplifting, servicing, setting standards, nutrition, supporting, quest, excellence, mystery. Okay, so these are the things you should implement each and everything. Whatever things, I don't think so any word is there you don't know the meaning of that, right? If something is there I can help you with, everything is clear, you can take this point. That is the simple thing. If you're talking it with others also, you should use such words. Have some integrity, have some good standard, good ethical values. Okay, you should implement that as well. I have implemented in myself. This was my experience. So these are the things you can implement in your life. You can teach others as well. Understanding why you teach, always that is the same thing. The intention why you are teaching others, why you want to become a yoga teacher, why not you becoming an engineer, why you're not going for it becoming a doctor, right? So your intent, it's not like it's so fascinating I want to do that. If this is the intention, that is not going to work at all. Just to if it is fascinating you, the poses are fascinating you, there is nothing you need to know about the theory things, nothing you need to know about their history about that, you are not interested into that, just the poses, it is fascinating, you want to become a teacher, it's not mandatory, or there are higher chances you can't be a good teacher. Okay, so whatever intentions you are having, understanding, you should understand to become a yoga teacher. First you should have an understanding why I am becoming a teacher. Okay, student may ask that why you decided to become a yoga teacher, why you want to become a yoga teacher, what fascinates you to become a yoga that you want to become a yoga teacher. So there are various number of questions people may ask, your students or clients may ask. But if you're not ready for that, if you don't know why you want to become a teacher, how will you answer them? Okay, so just have a clear intention before going for anything you want, right? Answers, some answers from your trainees, that it is given here only, that what are unique talents. If you were not teaching yoga, what would the world miss out on? Okay, kindness, community, self-love, empowerment, inspiration, self-acceptance, reflection, healing, possibilities, self-connection, fun, playfulness, the way to tone back into the body and intuition, and opportunity to be happy about who we are. Okay, so basically here given some trainees, they have answers for them, that it is a just example how people answer, how your students will answer. If you are asked question why you are here, this is your first day class, for example, I'm teacher, we have an introduction, I'll first question what I'll ask, or you should ask why what are your requirements, why you are here, why you want to do yoga. And you should never force your student on the first day of your class. People don't know about it. See, majorly every students, they don't have a clear intention, and there is nothing wrong in it. If they don't know why they are here, it's your responsibility to motivate them. Okay, fine. So see, fitness is the most important thing we should focus on. So nothing is there. If maybe you'll make your interest once you will come to classes, once you'll be there, when you'll implement such thing into yourself, you will attend regular classes, maybe your intention will get clear. Let's start first day, at least you will be healthy, at least you can build a strength into yourself. So these are the things. If someone is not clear about their intentions, your students and client, you should never demotivate them, you should motivate at that point of time. And if someone is having the clear intention, if they are giving you a good example why they are here, they want to become a teacher, they know everything, they need a certification for their business, so these are the things you should always prepare for, both the answers from your clients and students. Okay, now what are the unique talents? These are the same things given, that what unique talents you have or your teacher have, these are the answers what you need to give, what words you can use, it is given there. Why do you personally love to teach yoga? Again the same thing. What kind of different answers people give? Seva, service. Okay, sharing my gifts, getting people to smile, yoga changed my life for the better, I want to change that, I want to inspire people to make world a better place, yoga give me pace, I want to give that to others, I get high from seeing people come back to themselves. So these are the different kind of answers people mostly oftenly they give. Their students gives, clients gives, or the teacher also they can give. So these are the words just for your knowledge. It is given in the module. Okay. Your mission statement. What is your mission? What statements you are using to explain them? That is very important. What is my goal, and how I'm explaining it, how you are getting it. These three things are very different from each other, right? What is my goals? That should be clear into mind. How explaining it should be crystal and clear. And what you are getting it, are you getting the same thing which I'm explaining you? That is also very important. So on these three parameters, one teacher should always focus and always should have work on in the same thing. Okay, now here is a simple mission statement. My mission is to inspire people experience their interconnection with all their life while reaching their potential in many dimensions: personal, professional, emotionally, spiritual. Okay, so here it is given what is the simple statement or missions, and what kind of word I'm using. Again, the same thing, how I'm explaining it, what the words I'm using it to explain it, and how you're getting that. These three things you need to focus on. And if you're not explaining it in proper manner, even though if you're explaining it from your point of view, it is crystal and clear, but Jwala is not getting it, or maybe Arena is not getting what I'm trying to say. What is my mission? Why I'm teaching here? Why I have decided to teach you? Why I have decided to teach you guys? If I can't explain it, what is the use of teaching? Right? So it's to understand this module. First, it is important to understand your teacher. Okay, it's not important. You're just not only here to get. Yeah, you are here. Your main motive is to cover these chapters and everything, but daily the teachers you are dealing with daily on daily basis, it is very necessary to make a bond with that teacher as well. It is very important to understand that teacher as well, and it is equally important for teacher also to understand their student as well. Okay, so your mission statement should be crystal and clear, and the way you are using it, the way you are delivering it, should be also very clear. There are such examples. See, statements has been given, example has been given into your module, what mostly people use it and how you can use it. Or if you want, you can see that, and you can use such words. They are kind of professional ones. Okay, identifying your ideal students and their needs. So basically you should, how you are motivating your students, how you are making an ideal student, how you are making someone an idol, right? Mostly teacher also say that this is my ideal student, this is my ideal teacher. How you becoming that? What is the journey you are using to become ideal teacher or ideal student? That is given here. Take a moment to start a class. Ask not just about a student familiarity with yoga, but also about special concerns. Okay, it's not like I'm coming into the class, okay, Jwala and Arena, yesterday we have covered this chapter, let's start today. No, there should be some gesture, there should be a personal. If you want to ask something personal, for example, that Nimisha, can you just tell me these chapters, who just how you just wrote this, learn these chapters, how you are remembering such things, because I can't help myself to remember such things. So these are the basic discussion every teacher should do with their students, and students should also do with their students. It's not like just coming and shoot. You should not do that. Okay, now as students with limitations, injuries, or any, before starting any practical class, always ask and discuss to your students about their medical condition. Okay, do not force anyone, because if you don't know the body, and I just told you in the previous chapter also, if you're going for any practical classes, first week or maybe 3 to 4 days minimum, you need to watch your student, your body language of your student, how much strength they are having, how much strength are they need to work on, what are their body languages, how much they can push themselves, how you need to push them. Okay, so if you're not doing the study of the body of your students, you can't teach them really. Okay, it's not like the first day you're starting pushing this, and always have a good discussion about their medical condition, about their body languages, about their body, what on which poses they are facing problems. Okay, some people can't sit normally the way I'm sitting, right? So you need to make them sit comfortably. How will you do that without having the discussion with them, what problems they are facing, why they can't sit? You can't do that. Okay, so always talk to them before, if any injuries there, if any accident they met with, or any problem they are facing. According to that only you need to you need to teach them. Give every brand new student a questionnaire asking why they have been from yoga. So always, it's a kind of thing that after this class I'll ask for my feedback. It is not only for you, it is for me. Majorly it is for me. So always give our students that, always ask them whatever question they are having, or if any kind of skill you want to check into your student or you want to implement into your students, such you need to set some kind of small activities to your students and clients, so that you will judge yourself also and your students will judge themselves also. So such of the things out of the box you need to think and you need to understand there. Okay, fine. Now here it is same thing I have given. The third point was same, that the limitation or injury they are having, you need to ask what kind. If, for example, if I can't bend my hand, apart from this, you can't force me, and you should be aware of it. If I'm your student, it's your responsibility that you should know that Nimisha can't push her hand beyond this. Okay, and if you don't have a knowledge, you'll just pushing my hands, you know what is the consequences you are going to face as a teacher, right? So whatever thing you need to prepare yourself before taking any class or before communicating with any student or before going to with the into practical phase, you need to ask them and you need to have a brief discussion. Now quickly let's go with the next topic, the business of yoga. Here, what the guidelines? If you're setting up any studio, for example, or if you're becoming a teacher, what are the guidelines you need to set for yourselves or for your studio or for your students, or you need to follow? Okay, there was basically it was a principles or or policies you need to implement or you need to think about it. Now when you are setting up a business of yoga, into yoga, if you're setting up a studio or something, so what are the major things you need to take care? It doesn't matter if you're just starting your first business or have been in a business for over 20 years. This guide will help you for prepare a concise yoga business plan, serve as a good yoga business. It doesn't mean, for example, you have started your studio or someone is running, or maybe I'm running 20 years of business into yoga. We are on the same page. The why? Because what are the things we are following? What are the intentions? Which intention I'm running my business? Which intention Arena is running her business? What are the policies? What are the guidelines she is following, me following? That is the same thing. It depends on how our business are getting successful. It depends on such parameters. Okay. So what are the parameters? Here you given executive summary. Let's go quickly on the summary first. Who do you want to serve? Where do you want to serve them? What do you want to serve them? How do you want to serve them? Why do you want to serve them? Okay, these are the basic questions you need to keep in your mind before starting any business. You just invested money, you have opened yoga studio, you started doing advertisement marketing, maybe 10 or 20 people are there, they just come for the admission and everything, but you don't have an answer for these questions. You can't do that. Okay, you can't hold your business in a proper or functional manner. Okay, so these are the questions it is given. You should think into your mind as well. Once you are done with the certification, I'm not telling that today you need to think, because today you are not going to start any business, right? But one day when you are going to start any business, or it's not like only business you are going to start. If you are becoming a teacher, if you are working under someone, you should always question yourself and answer there why you want to, because these are the questions you are questioning yourself that point of time, but people will question you once you are standing at that platform. No, people, your client, your student will question you that why you are here, ma'am. What was the things how you decided to become a yoga teacher? If I can't answer, how come I'll teach to my students that what are your intention, how I'll motivate them? Okay, so your vision should be very clear. You should have each and every answers with yourself, why you are here, why you started this. The mission statement, the same thing. What are the statements you are using in front of your clients and students? I want to teach high school students to value and love in their bodies. So these are here it is given, the worksheet action is given into paragraph. What are your yoga business mission and the reason for being this? So what are the statements what you are using in front of your students and clients? Statements, the examples has been given here. You can it is not required that you will see these statements and you will release these statements in front of your clients and students in future. It is not for that. It is just for idea. Okay, so you will, whatever statements you are giving in front of your students and client, that too will be from your experiences. Okay, and from your different kind of vision. It is not here that you'll see from this book. Okay, fine. So we were on mission statement. Okay, so mission statement means whatever statement we are using it in front of our clients and students to explain our vision, why we are here. That is very important. Because of that only our student and clients will also learn how they have to explain themselves in front of their clients and everything. Okay, now business name. Always think of a business name, and it's very difficult to decide the name of your business. Why? Because there are different things, domain name and everything, because once it is registered by others, you can't register yourself. So always do R&D while choosing your business name, and that should be relatable. Okay, it's not like you are starting your yoga business, but you are keeping it's in spite of just deciding a name related to yoga, you are deciding some other name like dance class name or any flower name or anything. It should not be there. It's kind of relatable so that people can relate. Okay, so think like that only. Now, worksheet action here it is given. Have you Google it, URL, that the same thing, that you should always focus like whatever website, domain name, what other website is required. So whatever each and every steps you need to follow to open business, here it is in this chapter it is given that the URL, you need to decide the URL, you need to decide the domain name, you need to decide the website name after deciding the name of your yoga studio. Okay, now target audience. How will you target the audience? Marketing, advertising. After that, is there any mode you can target your students? Any idea, Arina, Jwala?
Yeah, I mean, depends who you want to target it at. So yeah, let's say if it's like young people who are on social media, maybe you'll use social media to target it. You know, you can put some ads, and it's quite simple now to put some ads on social media at low cost. So you can try that. But if it's local community, maybe you just want to put posters around the local area, so target like that. So it depends what your target audience is, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Jwala, my question was that if you want to advertise your yoga studio or something, that point of time you have done advertisement and marketing. Is there any other mode you can advertise yourself or your studio to target people or audience?
I can relate that according to the situation that currently we are facing COVID-19. So I can relate from that as well.
Yeah, we can do it. See, the major thing we need to focus, becoming as a businessman, we need to focus on the gender. Yoga mostly, every kind of age group of people is ready to do it. Okay, so now according to the place, according to the situation, according to the gender, location, income, education, we can't go into village and we can promote ourselves. People will not come. Okay, so what are it depends upon the area also, gender also. If we want to go, if we are starting kids yoga, we need to focus on that families where they have a kids. We can't go to old age people, right? So you have to keep into your mind and the situation where you are promoting yourself. Now location, decide the location where there should be a proper parking, there should be no traffic, because if there is a traffic, there will be always a noise disturbance into your yoga class. Okay, so it's decide a place which is full of peace. Okay, now parking should be there. Your clients are coming, they can come with any mode. Everyone is not coming from metro or something. People will use their own vehicle also, so give them a space to park their vehicle as well, because they are coming to your studio, right? So they can't park their car 2 kilometers away from your studio. They can't do it on daily basis, right? So have a good space, decide a good space where you can give. Noise free should be there. There should be a no huge traffic. There should be a good space of parking. Also there should be, people should not, what kind of people around your studio? Okay, you can't decide. There should be, people should be like educated, should be people should be there nearby that area. Okay, you can't go into village or some background area where every time people are like not so there, they are just for, there should be a huge crowd over there. People will not take interest to come, because end of the day they are doing yoga for their peace of their mind, okay, and their body as well. Now nearby facilities, there should be a good facilities near. If they want a medical emergency, should be there. If they are hungry, suppose they want to eat, because if you are going for 4-hour class, 5-hour class, there are mere chances people will not carry their lunch. So there should be a proper facility should be there to, if they want to eat something, there should be there. Now external noise, that I explain you, physical space should be there. There in your studio, there should be a good amount of space. People should make their space. People should have their space to sit, to stand. It is not like if 10 people will come together into your studio, there will be a crowd into your studio. Okay, so these are the major point. And of course, once you'll become a businessman or woman, you will ultimately you will think such points. Okay, that it is already known fact. Now ceiling height, what are the things you need to focus on your studio? Just I'll explain. Flooring should be good. Ceiling heights, that should very important. Like if there is a rain coming or something and your ceiling is there, it will not look good, and that is not right as well. Studio size, that I explained you also, it should be proper, so that if you have focusing targeting people 50 people, the space for 50 people should be there into your studio. Okay, lighting should be good. It should not be so bright that people will come and they'll feel pain into their eyes. Okay, that there should be good light. There will be should be a dim line. What ambience you are setting, it should be peaceful. Okay, people should feel light to come into you. When they'll come to your studio, they'll feel so much light into themselves, they want to do yoga. It's not like there should be loud music, light is bright, walls are so bright, there's a kind of smell, there is a noise outside. Why people will come there? They'll not come there while they'll invest so much money into your studio. So these are the basic points. And people, clients and students, they focus on infrastructure. Nowadays people focus so much into, in fact, if you are deciding to open a studio, these are the things, known facts you will keep into your mind. Okay, and the people will also suggest, okay, go for these things, these people attract such things. Okay, now reception, that is very important. How, and on reception, what kind of person is there to attend people, that is also very important. Okay, should be not be rude, should be humble, should be educated. Okay, so now renovation or outfit, what kind of renovation you are doing into your studio, keep doing this, some kind of creativity and renovation into your studio to make your studio different. Worksheet action has been given. Competition, service offered, what kind of service you are offering, that should be clearly mentioned. Even though you are doing advertisement, even you are promoting your studio or whatever you are doing it, just make it very crystal and clear what kind of services your studio is going to offer. Is there if it is not for certification, don't mention it. It is just for only practice for each and every age group. Mention that. If you are giving the certification affiliated from any school or from your own school, mention that as well. Okay, so every information is very necessary to mention, because that should be, if it is, people will not see why people what they want, they just go to the website and they find the necessary informations and then they do the query. If there is no information there on your website which is very important, then they will think, okay, fine, if your website is not good, they will just do the second effort to call you. Okay, so give the necessary information on your website only, and whatever service you are offering, give that on your website as well. As you went to Advait Yoga, you find what are the different kinds of certification Advait is offering, what other things they are offering, then only we just call. Okay, so follow such things. Now, after that, here it is given teacher training. As I explained you, if you are giving the teacher training course, mention that. If you're not giving it, don't mention it, because this is something different. Every studio do not do that. Okay, every schools do not. Only schools does that, but not every. Financing, whatever, always decide. If your investment is, for example, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, or whatever amount you have decided, invest that much. Don't go beyond to your limits. And if you don't have a sufficient fund to start your business, don't go for it. Wait for time, have patience, make some more strategies, work hard to make more money, but do not rush. Because business is something, if you are bearing loss, you'll bear it by continuous time of period, you can bear it. And then the time will come, you can't run your business. So business is something, keeping in mind such different kind of strategies, having patience is very important, and then you need to start. If you're investing your money, think and then invest. You do not invest on such thing which is not at all necessary for your studio. Okay, some people are investing on like chairs, tables, sofas. That is not required. It is only required for your reception. Invest that much there. Do not come. Mat is required for your studio. Invest in that. Blocks are required. Equipments are required. That you need to invest on. Here it is given where you need to invest, like mats, blocks, straps. That I explain you. Blankets for Savasana. What are the things which is required to invest, and where you need to invest? Things has been given. In case if you forgot something when you are going to invest in future, you can look it over here. The major thing has been mentioned in your module as well. Okay. Now, what are the possible funding sources? It is given. See here, the amount has been given, which is less, just for your idea. It is given in amount that what is the requirement, where you can use, where you can do marketing, how much you will invest on website, what are the miscellaneous expenses you need to bear, how much you will spend there. So these are the kind of idea has been given into module. Okay, look into that when it is required. The salary is not given, only the estimation has been given. If someone is want to start the yoga studio, estimation has been given where they need to invest how much. Okay, now Here, okay, now it says possible funding has been given. You can take loan. If you have an investment, if you have of savings, you can use that. If you don't have, you can take loan. Okay, you can lend the loan and then you can start your business as well. And then you can pay according to your profit and everything according to your journey, right? Now, so far, every topic has been covered. Whatever things has been given, whatever legal things is required. See, two topics is given: marketing plan, that that I have explained you in previous chapter also. The whatever marketing plan you have to implement such marketing plan into your business. Okay, never go for like things which is other people are doing or other businessman is doing. It is not necessary that is going to work here. For example, here given below are 10 marketing ideas you can start while doing your business. Telling other people what you do. You can promote yourself. While verbal communication is also kind of marketing, you can do that. Okay. For example, I'm telling Arena, I've started a studio. Arena will tell to 10 of her friends, 10 to 20 friends, or maybe 5 friends. They'll tell to other. Okay. So in that way, out of 20, if one people is also coming, that is also a marketing. I can do it. Now inviting people, you want to meet, try your service, you can invite your people. You can see there are many things. You can use newspaper, you can do it on website, you can do it on Facebook. You can, as Arena told, that whatever cheap mode we can use, we should use while doing promotion. Okay. And whatever paid mode, if you want, you have such amount of money, if you are having, you want to invest to do promotion, you want to do advertisement, you can use that money, you can do the paid promotion as well. Okay, it depends what you are doing, how your financial status is. Okay, here just given idea has been given. It is not necessary. If you don't have fun, you don't have investment, you don't need to force yourself to do the paid promotion. There are many other mode you can promote your business. Okay, now legal business action and operation, that is given. What are the business legal things you need to follow? If you have a huge business, huge yoga studio, you need to keep CA there. Whatever profit you are going through, whatever losses you are going through, there should be a legal person over there to take care of. You don't have, you being a yoga teacher or being a head there, you don't have such technical knowledge, then you should hire someone, so that the legal thing should be always, it should be very crystal and clear. Okay, if you are running such businesses, because there are many more chances people bear loss. There are many fraudulent chances also, people met with fraud things. So if you have any legal person with you into your business, you're secure, you feel secure there. Okay, and everyone should do that. Now here it is given proper legal forms. For example, if you're learning your business, there should be a proper form everyone student should fill. Either if you're doing it online or offline, doesn't matter, but should be there, because you should have all the detail of your clients and students, because you don't know personally. For that, the basic idea of basic things you have to keep in your mind, that too you need to follow that. Okay, now here it is given same thing, the operations. For that, you should have a proper accountant, you should have a CA. The same thing it is given. Whatever brand you are using, trademark you are using, for that, that should be legal. It should not be copy paste. You can't do that. There are legal charges you need to bear. So there are something legal things. When you will hire people for legal activities, when you're starting a business, there are some terms and conditions in advance. They'll tell you, and accordingly on that parameters you can run your business. Okay, you can't broke the rules into legal format, especially into legal, because there are so many penalty that are imposed on the businessman or woman if they are paying tax. It's very important. Filling up the forms, filling up the ITR, thinking of your brand name which no one is having. So these are the things you need to keep in your mind and you need to follow when you will open your business. That time point of time will come to know. Okay, now starting drafting your business plan today. Our best wishes. The same thing when you will finish your course, whenever you are going for it, whenever you are thinking to do, just go for that. Running your business, that point of time, there are many more things. You need to meet with people, you need to communicate, you need where you are investing, is you're using your savings, you are going to bank. So there are different kind of major modes. You need to follow that procedure, and accordingly you can start your business. Okay, so whatever vision you have to start your business, you have a module. Okay, there are, so far it is given what language you should use, what are the guidelines you need to set, what are the policies you need to follow. You need to tell how will you materialize, what are the legal things you need to follow. Everything is given in that module. Though out of 50 is very known fact, people know that, but whatever you don't have an idea about it, you can go through the module as well. Okay, so we have finished this professional teaching methodologies. Whatever if you are becoming a teacher, if you are running for business, whatever the reason you are taking the certification, each and everything, every possibilities has been explained in the module, and I have explained so far. If anything is there, any doubt is there, please note it down from this chapters we have covered so far. Note it down. We'll just discuss in the other class as well. Okay. Now, again, 1 o'clock you have a class. Okay. So today, I'm so sorry, 15 minutes are left. Just take rest quickly and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, we are going to cover the topic from yoga ethics. I'll let you
Okay.
do for the same.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Bye. Have a nice day.